That's right, y'all. The gods have deemed it necessary. It's a double shot Reapers weekend. Here we are on a Sunday. What the fuck are we doing on a Sunday night? This is ridiculous. We're just going to call this Sinful Sunday.
Yeah, there you go.
Brought to you by Canada's finest black velvet. So that will be my drink of choice for tonight. Awesome. And I have an awesome couple of guys here from the awesome band Cynical Sons, all the way from Canada. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Oh, most definitely. I've been wanting to get you guys on the show for a long time, and we finally made it happen. All right. But before we get down to the nitty gritty here, as it were, we're going to take a quick commercial break from my other brothers from overseas at Royal10Clothing.com. All those classic horror designs reimagined, as well as custom horror designs. Royal10Clothing.com has it fucking all. And they have a killer musicians wing or ambassadors of the company. You can check out my band, Black Tar Superstar, as well as many other awesome bands. All right. So if you're just joining us right now out there in Three Witches Land, share the fuck out of it. Please share it everywhere you can imagine. Because I'm telling you, here at the Underground, I have had so much amazing talent come through here on these interviews. Y'all can learn something out there, and most importantly, the fans can interact with the band. Don't be afraid to talk, bitch. I know that you like to talk out there. All right? So, and just as a matter of fact, during commercial break, we got motherfucking Francis from Drop Dead Dammit. What's up, brother? And of course, John Mertz with the comment of the evening, a.k.a. the Devil's Choice Whiskey. You fucking kill me, man. That was me in our latest video from about 6 months ago. Anyway, and then, of course, what's up, Stephanie? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. All right, Cynical Sons. Man, you guys have been on fire. Just literally on fire. All the way from Canada. Ottawa, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ottawa, yeah.
How's the weather over there?
It's pretty cold today.
Pretty cold, wow. A lot of wind.
Fuck. It's minus
all
12.
That wonderful snow that we're, for some reason, not getting, but
no,
it's still cold as shit, though.
Yeah. It's Canada, right? We kind of have to get used to it.
Yeah.
I guess so. And man, mad love for Canada. My dad goes up there to fish at least 2-3 times a year. Loves it. I've always wanted to get up there, especially with the band, because, you know, you guys have all the coolest fucking metal festivals over there. My goodness. Woo. Anyways, so you guys started in about 2019. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And was it just the two of you guys at the start, or did you have a full lineup?
It's just me and Sean.
Yeah.
It's like we was just chilling, you know, drinking some brews and said, what the fuck?
Sort of, but
awesome.
You know, me and Sean go way back. That's the thing. I'm like the old guy, and I recorded him back in like, what was it, like 2007? He had like a little
Yeah,
like
2007.
emo punk kind of band, and he had a really good voice. I remember him from then. And when I met up in 2019, it was at a bar Sean worked at, and so I had a band. We were playing that night, and it wasn't like a folk band. It wasn't going too well, and I wanted to go back to my like heavier kind of roots. And so I got his phone number. He was our waiter and stuff, and so we got talking and stuff, and ended up writing some more heavy stuff. And
well,
I guess
we started out with like pop rock kind of thing.
Okay.
At the beginning, but we never really released anything of that. And once we started with the first song we did until the morning, that kind of kicked off. Okay, this is what we want to do, but we can't do it alone. So we had to put ads up and find new musicians.
I also discovered like Motley Crue at that time, and which is kind of weird, but I'm just like, how come I've never heard this band before? I'm like, this is awesome. It's got like the energy of punk rock and like the guitars of like metal, right? So I'm like, we have to do this.
Good old Mick Mars.
Yeah, and so with Sean's voice and stuff, we're like, fuck it, like that's what we need to do. And we got picked up by Classic Rock Magazine at that time, so we were like in some of the top bands to watch for in 2020, 2021.
That was kind of the weirdest thing because we were still two at that point.
We're just two.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Like, if anything happens, they could do a show. We're only two, and it sounds like a full band.
Did you guys have anything recorded at the time that they could hear? Or
we had three. Anything? Yeah, we released 3 songs. So we had "Fiend for Me," "Until the Morning," and "Use Me." And so we all had.
Sounds like sin to me.
It is. "Fiend for Me" is a pretty sinful one. But anyway, so we ended up recruiting
it away.
we ended up recruiting some guys, and Martin, our lead guitar player, is just fucking awesome. And
guitarist.
Is it a 4-piece or a 5-piece?
We're a 5-piece.
5-piece.
Right now, we're probably like a 12-piece, but we'll get into that.
Later.
A lot of the guest musicians here and there, I guess.
In and outs.
Yeah.
So, how long did it take you guys to find the final pieces for the band to make a full?
I think
outfit?
within that 1 year, it was kind of like not like. I guess it was kind of like meant to be. Like a friend of ours knew Mart, our guitar player, so our lead guitar player, and he loved our songs that we had. And like I've heard of him because he was like I believe he's like one of the best guitar players in Canada, if not like America in general. Like he's just insane. And so
a lot of talent coming out of Canada, man.
We met up with him, and he's like, so we were sold on him for sure. And then he brought in Dre, our drummer, so Andre. And Nick, our rhythm guitar player, I knew him from my other bands, and he's a neighbor of mine too. So we go kind of way back, and so he had to come on board. So yeah,
nice.
That's kind of how we got created.
Yeah.
So I take it y'all had kind of like the same influences.
Not at all.
That's the thing.
Well, see, that's even fucking better right there.
Not at all.
I'm more Aerosmith, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. I've been listening to that since like way back. Bon Jovi, and Dre, the drummer. He's more of a metal guy, like straight up. But
like a little bit harder, a little bit more aggressive.
Well, I know if you know like Cataclysm and stuff like that, like they're Canadian heavy bands, so like
does that bleed through it all? Do you think?
With the double bass, I think so. I think it does in the drums for sure. Yeah. For sure.
There you go. That's one thing I always said that Tommy Lee would have been best at if they would have let him do more double kick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of just that straight ahead, Beatles, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, boom, tap, or AC/DC, the kings of the 1/4/4 beat.
Exactly.
They've never done anything different. And it's just like they've made just an amazing career out of that. And that really opened it up for the guitar, which is pretty evident with your stuff as well. And I was actually so excited, about doing this interview because this is the one part of the genre that never really gets talked about. It's like the heyday of the 80s. Most people think Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, all those bands. But now it's like you guys are taking like the musical part, not the teased hair and lipstick. And
no.
All that fucking glam shit. A lot of people forget Pantera started out as a glam rock band for at least 2 records.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Trading it in. Oh, yeah. if you'd ever want to see what Phil Anselmo looks like with teased hair and makeup and lip gloss, check it out.
we honestly, we want to take it more seriously. That's the thing. Like I like glam rock and all that shit, but I feel like it doesn't age very well, like the image part. So exactly. so I think like for us, we're just gonna do our thing, and we kind of flirt with a lot of genres. Like I guess like with Sean's voice and stuff, we end up being categorized in that kind of glam kind of thing. But I think well,
just
anyway,
because it's really good melodic.
Yeah, I guess
maybe that's interesting.
Yeah. I call it party metal personally. So
sure. Now you know who's famous for that? Van fucking Halen.
Yeah.
They were known as the party band of like the late 70s and then into the 80s. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's good to see that back. We used to years ago here. In the States, and a lot of musicians I played with always called that genre cock rock.
Cock rock.
So, they might as well just call it that. It's like, you got fucking balls, but at the same time, you don't give a fuck. You're fun. Yeah. And, it really rings true. Especially looking at some of your singles. It was funny because in the ad, I called you guys the king of streaming. Because I mean, holy shit, One Life got over 12,000 streams. I'm Free came real close at 11,000.
That's the Spotify or the YouTube? Because if you look at
Spotify,
YouTube, we got
Spotify. Yeah.
YouTube's got some crazy views as well. So
okay,
our YouTube channel is pretty nice. Yeah,
definitely gonna have to get to that. I being a shop owner, I haven't had much time to really go through a whole lot, but I'm always like glued to Spotify, and to see numbers like that, it's evident. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but get to listen to your guys' stuff. And then of course, Shots.
It's our baby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even though we didn't write it, it's our baby.
That's fucking awesome. John out there in the comment section says Twisted Sister didn't age well under all that drag makeup.
True.
But you know what though? D. Snyder still sounds as good as he did back in the day, even without the makeup. I mean, sure, he's fucking ancient, but the guy can still rock. And that's, kind of the whole attitude of hard rock. Or whatever they're comparing you to,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you guys are like Nickelback.
No.
I'm kind of glad you're not comparing us to Nickelback personally, but you said we were going to go in politics here.
Oh no, I ain't going
just
there.
Kidding.
Oh no,
no sir. I mean, one of my favorite YouTubers is from Canada, Stevie T. I'm sure you're probably familiar with him. He's pretty popular. Everything he's ever said about Nickelback is just so fucking hilarious, but at the same time, it's true. Oh my God. So no, I would never categorize you guys in that same vein.
One thing I have to give them is the success though, man. They are big.
Oh yeah.
So, they are hit makers because, and that's one of the things we'll talk about is the music business as a whole. You can either go stick to your guns, write it the way you want, sound the way you want, and how you want to portray it. Instead of having a record label that says, nope, you're going to do this. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to do this and you're going to do this. We'll make you millions. But in the end, they're just kind of making themselves rich and not the band. In a lot of cases, especially in underground, hard rock, heavy metal, and all that stuff. So
yeah, and you end up doing things that you didn't really want to do from the beginning, and it changed the whole project, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So at what point did you get hooked up with Terror Crew?
I think Eric had been our manager had been a big fan of ours. He was following us on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. And I kind of was chatting with him a little bit, and he's kind of convincing us to go ahead with it. And eventually, we just jumped on, and we're like, "Screw it, we'll see where this takes us." And honestly, it's a fun ride. Like it's an indie label, right? So we can't really complain. We're allowed to we write our own things, and we do our own thing, and they're super supportive of us. So in the end, like we got nothing to say.
Really,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. It's not like a major, like you said, a major label where they're investing a certain amount of money and then we have to produce. So then we're like screwed. So in this way, it's kind of like, it's a good thing because we invest ourselves, and Gabe, the label owner, he helps out with everything he can, and if we give, he gives. You know, so the more you give, the more he gives back. So, which is good.
I even had him on the show about I'd say probably about 3 weeks ago or so, and I mean, him and I, we've been tight. You know, especially just being in Black Tar, and then I take care of Terror Crew here in Nebraska, Ohio, because I'm originally from Ohio. So just a great guy. He's not out there to make his name any bigger. He cares more about these bands like you getting out to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of Reaper's Underground show. And I want to showcase talent that maybe some people don't know. And if that can help, you know, boost fan bases and stuff like that, because I mean, you guys are amazing. I mean, I love this type of stuff. I tend to gravitate more to like the heavier stuff. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite Kingside bands right now, besides us and you guys, is Tales from the Oracle. They're also
Tales from the Oracle.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys checked them out. They're a little more extreme.
Yeah.
A little more extreme.
Okay.
You know,
I'll have to check them out.
Very heavy. But what I've been up to is doom metal. It's slower, groovier, stoner rock, you know, that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it's just great to see, you know, bands like yourselves getting out there in this way. And Eric is just, man, what an awesome dude. He's got an eye for talent and an ear for talent, and he goes to bat for you, you know, however he can help you out. So
yeah, exactly. That's a really good guy.
Now, did Terror Crew come first or did AMG come first? And at what point did that happen, actually?
I think it was more AMG at first, and then it was kind of combo thing. I think it was just a matter of
they're mostly at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, but AMG was before, though.
Yeah, we were kind of shopping for a label and kind of figuring out what we wanted and to see like how it would help for promotion and stuff, because we do mostly everything on our own. Like I take care of all the recordings, production, everything like that, and like booking shows, all that stuff. And so I kind of wanted to alleviate some of the pressure.
Yeah.
And even then, like I feel like I do put myself out there a lot anyway. Like I'm looking like throughout the whole pandemic thing, we still have managed to have a few shows, like virtual shows and stuff. And I ended up doing all the setting up with like the TV studios and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't know if we're there yet, but like when we launched our album, we did a virtual show. And so the pandemic was essentially shut everything down here in Canada. And so at that time, there was like bars were we could do virtual shows, but then Ottawa ended up shutting that down as well. So we ended up going to Gatineau, just on like we're on a provincial border. So it's kind of like a state border. And so some of us are in Quebec, some are in Ottawa. And so it's like really like right on the border. So on the Quebec side, you were allowed to be like in a business. So we ended up going to a bike shop friend of mine in his garage. And so we set up like 8 cameras, like a multi-track sound system, some lighting and everything. And we recorded the virtual show live there. And so
how the hell did you do that?
Contacts. Contacts, but I work in like the media business, so I won't mention like so I've got a lot of camera buddies, camera guy friends, and I'm an actual sound engineer as well. And so so all that was kind of, it was still pulling strings, because when you're thinking about budget and all that stuff, and it still adds up when you're doing a virtual show versus like an actual regular show, and then you have to sell tickets as well. So
and it's the weirdest thing ever. I'm never doing that again. Like
to play to no pandemic,
crowd. Oh man, you finish the song and it's like
crickets.
Like you did an entire live stream tour in the midst of that pandemic, because it was the only way we could play.
Exactly.
You know, even here in the States and Ohio, it was like, we got to figure something out. And there was this Facebook group called Happy Hour with Heather and Guest, and she would actually let the bands go live from her page so that they would actually have audiences. Now, still, the suck ass part of it is, they're commenting, but you can't see it.
No,
you can't hear it. It's not like you have some big ass teleprompter showing you everything that's going on. And it's like you get done and you just look at each other, man, that was fucking awesome. Cricket.
The trick the trick we learned from it, because we did it twice. So the first one we did, it was Rock the Quarantine, and so we had a radio station here sponsor it, and so there was 5 bands, 4 or 5 bands, I forget. Anyway, and so we literally did it live, and so when we were doing like the changeovers, we had pre-made videos that we've done, and then some of the radio hosts but it was so fucking intense. Because
it was like 15 minutes, go.
15 minutes changeover, so it's like go. And so that was pretty intense. So the second time around, we decided to pre-record it. And so what was fun from it is we could actually chat with the audience and interact with the audience as they were watching it. So that made it kind of fun. And we were kind of watching the live stream as well with like, it's like it's us, but we're like kind of voyeurism, I guess. It was kind of weird because people thought it was live, but it's like
damn, I'm looking pretty good today.
But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. But like Sean said, it's just so weird to not play to an audience. And that virtual show, we
have no energy to feed off.
Yeah,
no, exactly. You're taking 200% for.
And we're a party band, like you mentioned, and so the crowd interaction is really important. And we kind of thrive on having people at our shows. So if there's not a lot of crowd, it kind of goes against like our energy level, right? So
right, exactly.
So we need that crowd interaction. You mentioned earlier like the shot song, and so that's like a crowd pleaser, and you can't stray away from that song, right? So live we like throw out glow sticks and bring down all the lights, and then we give like a tray of shooters to the whole crowd. So everybody's got shots. And so we just start the song. It's this big, like the lights just go like boom, and then there's like glow sticks everywhere, and yeah.
Nice. So since we're on that subject, it got quite a few streams here on Spotify. What was like? I don't know the inspiration to want to do that song.
Well, I always loved LMFAO. It was like 2015 when it came out. Anyways, the party rock anthem, and me and my buddies, we listened to that like all the time. So I just thought it would be maybe a fun song to do. And the first time we talked about it, we all laughed, and then it became real, and we're like, oh, this could be awesome then. Okay, let's do this.
and then we played it like so our first show was before the pandemic hit in like January of 2020. And so at that time, I remember we were having conversations about like the COVID and stuff prior to the show, and we're kind of laughing about it. And I'm like, fast forward like 2.5 years later, and like that really screwed us up. Anyway, but that show was so fun because when that song came on, that's when we really saw that like the energy level to our crowd, like the crowd was sold, so the show was sold out, and it's just like the stage just blew up, and I'm just like, I want to do that again. Like it was just like so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in general that song kind of sums up like what we want to do. It's like it's party rock, right? So not to be cliche, but Motley Crue is all about drinking and like partying and stuff, and so we're
kind of wrote the book on it. I think.
So I think we're minus the drugs, I guess, somewhat.
No mainlining cocaine or anything like that.
But I think we're still big on the party songs and the drinking and just having fun, right? So
sure. I mean, it's part of the culture. It's how people cut loose and have a good time. And when you got a band that's cheering you on just as much as you're cheering them on, they're going to gravitate to that shit. Mm-hmm. Speaking of party stuff, let's discuss this one. How the fuck did you guys end up doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
That one's on. That's all on me, man. Okay,
and I'm just stupid enough to go along with his ideas.
Okay, start back the year before. So we kind of did this "fuck you 2020" off of we wish you a Merry Christmas, and so kind of started with that. And then so this year, my girlfriend and my kids were off for a weekend, and so I was home alone, and I was having a few drinks. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm doing a Christmas song again this year. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I started riffing around Rudolph. And then I really liked what I was doing. And so I sent it to Sean. And then we got our buddies from Montreal, Punchline 13 singer, to tag along a bit on there. Anyway, so it ended up being a song. And so Sean's like, oh, we should do like a featuring smoking Santa, and it's just like a character we invented. It's just anyway.
At the beginning, he's like, "I'll just do a ho 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 like for Christmas cheer," and I do it, and he's like, man, that sounds like you smoke a pack a day, man. So we're like, oh man, we should totally do Smoking Santa.
Thank you, Marlboro.
But yeah, so
Well-
it's like a joke thing, and I think right now
Yeah.
we're actually talking about like doing one every year, so just doing like this like kind of joke
I
kind of
think it's
thing.
great.
So
Oh yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Other artists have done that in the past, metal bands. I think there were actual Christmas metal albums, throughout
Yeah.
the 80s.
yeah.
I know King Diamond for sure, did No Presents for Christmas, and man, they were just fun fucking songs.
we want to
And
put the
right
humor.
now, it's considered your most popular song on Spotify.
I,
Right.
I honestly can't wait for it to. I can't wait for the new one to come out on Tuesday because I want that thing to go down. I'm like, it's a Christmas song. We're in March. Get out of there.
Oh, John says Reaper likes to cut loose to foot loose.
Oh.
I don't. As a matter of fact, I hate that movie. But sadly, it was a part of the 80s and I was there. So
Yeah.
oh, it looks like this might be a fan of yours, Christian Hard or Huard, or it says can't wait to see you again. So
Oh yeah.
Hey,
must be a fan.
So
what
we
up,
can,
Chris?
if he's listening up, we can actually, I guess we can do a teaser or launching a show July 2nd. So post Canada Day hangover party. You're hearing it live for the first time now. So it'll be our first show back this year. And so tickets go on sale on Tuesday alongside our single that's coming out on Tuesday. So yeah. So Christian,
yes.
you will get to hear and watch us live again. Full crowd
Yeah.
capacity. Which I believe will be remaining in Canada for a bit. I'm pretty optimistic about that we won't see shit close again.
Oh, for sure. I certainly hope not. And the rest of the world is just fucking sick of it.
Yep.
So has it been a full year since you guys haven't done shows, or that was when you ran a couple of the live?
Oh, no.
streamers?
Yeah, we did a show in the fall, but it was like a half capacity crowd. So it was still like COVID restrictions. So everybody had to wear masks and 2 meters apart. And
Yeah,
it was,
Yeah.
200 though.
it was a
Not bad.
225 capacity crowd. So it was like a sold out crowd, but that bar is like 450 people. And so I always told the owner, I'm like, I want to sell this place out eventually. And so we did sell it out, but at half capacity.
Half capacity, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if that was any indication, I'm sure, now that things have loosened up and they should be able to have as many that they're allowed, you guys will probably sell the fucker out.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Hoping.
Yep.
Fuck
But yeah.
yeah.
We did a few shows, even live. We did like a 50-person show, and that, not that it sucked, but it did suck. Like it's fun to do a show.
Yeah, no,
It's fun to do a show, but like when you've got it just felt like an empty bar. People had to sit down, like they weren't allowed to stand up and stuff, and so it's kind of just weird. And
there's no energy.
See, that's no good either.
Yeah.
No.
Because people don't want to sit. They
Well,
wanna move
especially at a
around,
show
they
like
wanna get
that, like, it's
crazy,
not
they
put in
wanna
the
throw
on,
some
right?
hair around. Shit, maybe mosh a little bit. You never.
Yeah, we need that.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Real quick before we get back to it, we're going to take a quick commercial break from Dezea's Creep Shop. Check it out. That's right. If you consider yourself to be strange and unusual and like to collect some very creepy shit, Dezea's Creep Shop has just the handmade horror collectibles for you. Anything from apparel to any kind of like regular decor and those creepy fucking dolls. mouths.
That was creepy though.
So even if yourself not a fan of it, maybe you know somebody that is, direct them over there to Dezea's Creep Shop at Etsy.com. So we have a question from the audience. What about the new guitar?
That's kind of like a touchy subject.
Oh no.
I'm gonna the way I'm gonna kind of phrase it is COVID. Yeah, COVID fucked up a lot of people, and in general, I think like the mental health. I think that's. I think I'll go on a tangent here with the new album and the concept because it'll lead into that. Anyway,
that's perfect.
And so the new song, the new single that we're releasing right now, we wrote with Dominic, so our new old guitar player. Anyway,
we'll get to that later.
But yeah, so essentially the album concept was to be all about mental health and the different diseases and stages, and I guess like difficulties that people could have with mental health. And I think it was all inspired by the 3 years of COVID and how people dealt with it in different ways, like it's depression. It kind of like brought out all these illnesses that were probably a little there, but like it made them a lot more, like a lot stronger and stand out a little more. And so essentially this album concept was all about mental health and like the different things. And so the single that we're bringing out is about schizophrenia. Anyway, I'll let Sean talk about it. Anyway, so I think we all were affected. We were all affected by it. And so our lead guitar, Mart, and even for us, like I think it was just like weird times for everyone. And so I think with like the shows and all that stuff, we didn't part ways, but we were kind of like, we wanted to go on, and like things were kind of not working too well.
Well, he just didn't want to play in the COVID conditions. Like, with the masks on, half capacity, and it was just for him a lot of work for what he got back, I guess, from playing live shows. Like he didn't really want to do the live streams or whatever, and honestly I found it boring too, but it was the only way, like you said earlier, the only way that we could play music, and he wasn't down with it at all. So, and
like the way I saw it is we're doing something that not a lot of people were doing at that time, and so we're kind of standing out a little more. Anyway, but so we wanted to keep
bands got forgotten about.
Yeah,
that's the truth. And they did not seize the opportunity to use the internet to their advantage to stay relevant and being able to engage fans. And that's the one thing I think all the big bands missed the mark on. Yeah. Sure, they did the live streams, but they weren't really talking to the fans.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
And so essentially I think, and so we wanted to keep going. Like you said, like we still wanted to keep going. And so we brought in Dominic, which he's an awesome guitar player and everything. And I think the pandemic hit him differently as well. And so we were all caught up in some sort of, I guess, up and down kind of thing. And so now essentially we're back, and Mart's back. And so there's no bad blood at all. Like everybody's good. And so everybody's 100%. We're all okay with each other and stuff. And so there was no like friction or anything. It was just a matter of, I think, how we wanted to progress as a band. So essentially, Dominic's kind of in and out, but so the next single that we're releasing is with Dominic. So he pretty much wrote the whole song, the music part.
It was his riff, from the beginning.
So we owe that song to him for sure, and so we wanted to do it justice and still release it. And I think in the future we'll still be writing some stuff with him as well. And so we're like an open kind of band, so we like to collaborate and like to do things differently. I don't see it like it's a relationship, but it's kind of like an open relationship where like we don't necessarily like. I feel it's because I feel if it brings a better song, then why not collaborate, right? So if we can make that song a lot better, so that's how I see it. Instead of trying to just keep it like, for sure it's fun to be between the band, but I mean, if we can bring in somebody else and have fun
and open other doors, but we're still going with the same concept for the album though. Like it's mental health all the way. But it's not going to be with Dominic. It's going to be back with Mart. Yeah.
Anyway, so if you want to talk about the new single, Sean, we're releasing Tuesday, called Strangers. So.
Oh yeah, Strangers. So schizophrenia. Well, my girlfriend, she works at a shelter for women that they suffer with they're living off the streets and whatever. but they're mostly in their heads a lot. So I just wanted, and she talks to me about them a lot. So I was like, I just want to get it out there and not normalize the subject, but make it less like, oh,
taboo.
I'm afraid. Taboo, exactly. So I thought it would be fun to do each song a different concept, a different mental illness.
And I still think, like, even if you talk about depression, I still think like it's kind of taboo for men, and it's kind of weird. But like, I'm a pretty open guy about like all these things, and I still feel like sometimes there's kind of like this stigma or this pressure for guys to kind of hide their feelings, and so I feel like talking about it this way, like this album is definitely a lot darker than where we've been going. Like, it's still going to be party rock, but I think like the lyrics and all that stuff, I think we're going to take more of a COVID really, I think brought that on anyway. So like made us reflect on how
states were just the same, the same way. For some people, you know, they panic, or like you said, you know, some musicians are like, I don't want to do the live stream thing, and they just quit altogether because they don't think it's going to get any better. And, you know, media does a wonderful job of making you feel like you're in the midst of end times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So resilient. And, you know, it's not like no one's tried to, you know, try to make things better. And it is getting better because people are finally, you know, basically following the rules, I guess you could say. And it's made things easier for us to get back to business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me a bit. I think everyone's album this year is going to be kind of darker because of those.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. Yeah.
Because I don't know about y'all, but, you know, we felt like we were fucking trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah,
we can't do shit. We're not the type of band that you just listen to. It's an experience, just like you guys on stage. And I can only imagine how much high energy there is. You know, so it's great to know that you're coming back out. The new single, can't wait. It's going to be killer. So when AMG ended up dissolving, were you surprised that you went to Kingside, or?
I know. I think we had a good relationship with Gabe and stuff, and I think we did bring something different to the table for the label, and so I still think we do. So hell
yeah.
So I think for us it was a good change. It was a natural change to just switch over, and we're happy to do it too. Like we were really happy that Gabe trusted us enough. Yeah. So.
Because, I mean, at that time with AMG, I like to call it the AMG era, there were so many good bands just on that imprint label. Yeah. And it's like, you know, the strong survive, those that are really trying to make this their life, their livelihood, their hearts in it. And most importantly, none of us gave up when, you know, shit got tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really cool to see how we all kind of merged together as one big family.
The hard part now is actually being able to stay up late, because I think that's one thing with the pandemic. We all got comfortable in our pajamas late at night. Yeah. And I've got friends of ours that played a show last weekend, and that's what he was telling me. He's like, man, we played at like 11:30, and I'm like, I'm not used to being up that late anymore. And I'm like, well, it's still rock and roll, man. We still have to be up late.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. If you're not a night owl, I myself am a night owl. That's when I do my best creativity work. But you know. I guess some people were just like, well, shit, can't go nowhere, so go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you know, just fucking take a Valium and cancel out for a while.
I'm an early bird, right? So some of the songs we wrote where I was like, I've written at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'd get up, like I'd be up, like I'd just be waking up, and then instead of like being on my phone or whatever, I just go down in the studio and just like start recording shit. And so you think about like the songs that we write, and you're like, this was written at 3 a.m. with a cup of coffee and not a beer. Like, yep.
Oh man, I never wrote any of Black Tar songs fucked up because it just wouldn't make any sense. People would be like, "What? What are you talking about? Hail to the succubus? What?" You know. So, it's like, no, man. I pulled inspiration from a movie and I was eating popcorn, which is the truth.
Watching Footloose.
What's that?
Watching Footloose.
Yeah.
Yes, watching Kevin Bacon do the fucking two-step.
That's one thing too that we never actually got to do is like when we wrote the album, the last album we did, we wrote it essentially all like in different places, and so we recorded each on our end.
Yeah.
And so this song is pretty much like the first one that we actually wrote together in the room, and so we're kind of it brings a certain energy and a different kind of vibe that not jamming with a band does. And so I think like the next album, we're looking forward to actually being able to jam and play together and record and
create together at the same time, like instead of just sending ideas here and there and then makes a song, you know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, now that I'm here in Nebraska and, you know, the rest of Black Tar is back in Ohio, I mean, we do that too. So we're constantly sending shit back and forth. And, you know, we had what was known as kind of like the Black Tar sessions where, you know, I came back to Ohio. We all got together and we rehearsed for like 3, 4, 5 days. And then, of course, you're not going to come back here. So that's been, you know, a little bit trying, but believe it or not, it fucking works. And you guys had a chance to really kind of perfect that. Not being able to practice in the same room.
Yeah.
So kudos to that.
Canada was no fun for a while there.
Oh,
we had like an 8 p.m. curfew, man. So everybody had to be in their house. So,
for sure. So, how was it releasing that first EP? Was it with AMG?
The album, you mean, or the
album? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was under AMG, and so we had it was back and forth. There was a lot of trouble. Because the virtual show that we had to do, and so the building of the set and all that stuff, and it complicated because I think at that time too, like the first virtual show we did, a lot of people were backing it up because we were doing something different, and we're probably one of the first bands in the area here that we're doing it. And so we sold a lot of tickets, and it was super fun. And we weren't charging much. We were charging, I think, $5 a ticket for the virtual show, and it was full on production. And then for this one, I think people were kind of tired and sick of not like the virtual shows necessarily, but like the whole pandemic thing. So the pandemic fatigue, I guess you could say. And so, and so I think it reflected maybe on the virtual release part, and even on us. I think we were kind of like just tired, and like if it was just for me, like I think we would just wanted to play a show and in front of people to release it. And I think that's why we're anxious to go back in the studio now and to be able to record and release like a new album and be like actually have like a show release and some shows out of town and all that stuff to promote.
Hell yeah. Do you have kind of like a time in mind in the year of when you hope to have it done? Or
we like we said, like we got this show July 2nd lined up, and after that we're not personally booking any shows, but we really want to sit down and kind of take our time and see where it evolves and stuff. And so we really want to make this next album like a concept album. I don't know if you know the band Ice Nine Kills.
Oh, for sure.
And so what, like the way they did their album and they released like their videos and the whole concept thing, like I don't think we're going to go that wild, but I really
like
a
little extreme.
Yeah. But I really like that they probably took their time doing all that stuff and like the videos and all that. So I kind of want us to take our time and actually do something really good that we're super proud of what we accomplished, but I think the goal is always to kind of like up it up a little bit, and so to go a little better.
Be happy with it ultimately,
and so that's kind of the goal. So we want to sit down and actually make another album that's even better than the one that we believe it's even better than the last one. So
yeah, I can remember when Black Tar put out that first EP, Old Gods Awaken. That thing was like in a weekend, 3 days, done, got it out, put it out, and we were just like hoping it would stick, and it did end up getting a lot of attention. But by the time we did the first record for AMG, which was the Black Flame, took our time. We actually did it like over the course of a couple weeks instead of just trying to force it in there. I mean, we were really super well rehearsed, I think, for that first EP, which made it a bit easier. Still, it was kind of stressful.
Oh yeah, must have been.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, I totally get that vibe completely. So let's talk about a couple of your biggest singles. The first one, One Life.
Yeah.
Why do you think
Yeah.
that one just hits so hard with people?
Well, it was a collab with some friends of ours, Civilian, and they're really big in the area here. They won a contest, the Rebel 1017. I don't like
Oh, nice.
band thing. So they won a lot of a budget, I guess you could say. And so they did this collab with
The singer of 3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace singer. And so they got a lot of backing following. And so I think that probably helped out a little bit. But also I think that song was probably it was one of our darker songs, first darkest songs, I guess you could say. And so I think it's essentially probably it related a lot to people. And it's probably honestly like our heavier song, probably more technical as well as far as like guitar playing goes. And so I think in general, probably people related to it a lot more. It strayed away from more of that party stuff and went more, it was a more serious kind of tone to it. So
yeah,
so good. I mean,
thanks.
Just over the top good. Love that one. And I'm free. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
Well, I wanted to do it like a more vocal song, to have at least one of them, because it was mostly when Mark came in. I was like, man, I don't even have to sing, man. This guy is so good on the guitar. So I was like, well, I'm maybe gonna have to take it up a notch. So I'm free. I was like, we're gonna. Oh yeah, and it worked out super nice with a lot of harmonies. The thing is, at the same time, I didn't want to like overload it with the harmonies because when we're live, well, GS just started doing exactly, and I didn't want to like sell out something that sounded awesome, and then you come to see, and it's not the same thing at all. So I kind of went in between a bit, not too many, but something that sounds very good and very rich. Yeah,
and live, like Sean said, like we like to play as real as natural as possible. No ghost tracks, and we play our instruments and everything live, like no click track, nothing.
Tracking.
So we want to do the real thing, and we like I'm not against it at all, but I just feel like for us, like for me, live, it just adds to that energy having like the monitors and the crowd and not having anything in my ears personally. So, but
absolutely. I mean, we can't all be like Ozzy who can sing a couple of lyrics and then suddenly there's like 6 other voices backing him up. It's like, man, that's fucking exhausting and expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So people just don't understand. That's why Alice in Chains was so great as a band because Lane and the current vocalist that they got and the guitar player can always reproduce those harmonies live.
Yeah.
Instead of like any kind of multi-tracking. And then, even on the album, it ends up sounding kind of fake to me.
And I can guarantee you Sean will pull all those notes live, hands down.
I believe it.
And Mart's just a wizard on guitar, so he never misses a note either. So
nothing.
I'm confident on stage with those two guys, and even Dre on drums. He's just insane. So I bring in everything else, and they've got the talent. I'm just
just along for the ride.
Yep.
But without GS, we wouldn't be where we are today. Though he's the only one with 2 kids, and he's there's Nick now that has a little girl, but he's always up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then he writes to me. He's like, "Oh, check this out, and I get up at 7, and he's already like done a half a day. Like he's crazy, man. He goes to bed super late, and it works really, really hard for the band. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take one more quick break before we get into final thoughts, and check out the bands of Terror Crew Productions, Ohio, Nebraska, by yours truly.
threats killed 3 people. All residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.
That's right. I am a music nerd. I don't just stick to one thing, anything from doom metal to black metal. There's even an industrial act on there from Germany known as Puppengat, who's just released a box set. So if you follow him on Instagram at Puppengat, you'll be able to get all the info for that and get your hands on it. A lot of these bands are also band campers too. I'm not sure. Are you guys doing Bandcamp as well?
Yeah, we're on Bandcamp. I think, I think Kinkside uses it a lot more than we haven't really updated it much yet, but
yeah,
but not too much now.
Right now we got our site. We'll plug that, cynicalsons.com. So we're using that a lot more because we can do all like the audio streaming, and we can sell music on there as well. So it's kind of like more of our platform, I guess you could say. So
yeah, I mean, Bandcamp has never not been probably the best friend to any band or artist out there. Everyone thinks, oh, well, if you're on Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple Music and all that shit, like you guys are just making serious dough. Guess what? No, the fuck they don't.
No,
Spotify don't pay bands shit.
Nope.
Which is so interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed this. How many times people are so big on how many followers you have on Spotify? Yeah, they may be monthly listeners, but they're not paying anything except for $10 a month, to which an artist, maybe 25 cents.
Yeah.
I don't pull punches. I tell people how it is because I know we're all in the business together. Fact of the matter is, check out the Bandcamp, especially with Cynical Sons here.
Well, cynicalsons.com.
Or cynicalsons.com, most definitely, to get that latest merch. You guys got some awesome merch.
Thanks. Goodness. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine who does a lot of design work, and so so he kind of helps us out. I do a lot of design work as well, man. So I do a lot of design work myself, so we kind of split, but I think it helps. I don't know, at one point, like I think we've got too much merch. Because a lot of people, when you're playing a show live, you want to bring as much merch as possible, right? And then you're like, okay, what do we choose? Like, what do we bring? Like, we can't bring the whole thing because that would be like a lot of order. But, but yeah, we got some nice merch. I think so. A lot of my friends that don't even listen to our band are like, you guys have really sick merch. I'm like, yeah, keep buying it.
What's your favorite design?
I like it's kind of like a wave. It's a skull on a wave.
I was gonna say that. That's what I was gonna say. That was
that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, me too.
And so
pretty killer. Since I got you both here, everybody knows here at Three Witches we love our horror. So give me your top 3 favorite horror films of all time.
Oh, honestly, you're probably gonna laugh at me, but the Dawn of the Dead remake that was in like '94, I think.
That was so good.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. It was pretty intense.
Almost better than the original.
The zombies were running though, so that was kind of weird. But anyway, I still liked it.
That was rough.
Yes. There was also with Josh Hartnett. It was a vampire movie. I forget what it's called. 30 Days of Night. I like that one too. I like that one too.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And then what
kills me is people that live in Alaska that actually go 1 month a year in darkness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I got a buddy that's in the Yukon that does it. And so
really?
But it's because you have 30 days of darkness, but you have those, I guess, I don't know, like 2 months of light. So you have to put barred the windows. So you actually barred the windows to get darkness. And he says that that's even worse than the darkness because you're just like 24 hours a day light. So your body's just like even more weird. Anyway,
it must be tough for you.
Yep. Also, The Nun. I kind of love that one too.
You know, I mean, I still got love for the film. I think they could have done more with it.
Yeah.
But still, not half bad. Way better than Annabelle, I must say.
But that whole series I kind of enjoyed. Like it was a thing me and
the Conjuring
Yeah.
universe. Yes.
my girlfriend and I we just had our first daughter, and we had a first date out, and so we were supposed to go see a different movie, but it was like kind of sold out, and so we ended up going to see Annabelle, and we kind of made it our thing. So every time one of the movies would come out, we'd have like a date night. So it was kind of like the Conjuring universe kind of thing. So that was that's probably why
that's on the town.
So that's probably why I have an attachment to that movie, not necessarily because of the script, but more because it's like I associate it with like a date night, no kids.
Nothing wrong with that. Trust me, my wife and I also like our time alone as well. So, all right, how about you, Sean?
Well, honestly, I'm not too much of a horror movie guy. I'd say
thriller.
Well, I'm more thriller. Yeah, more thriller.
Okay.
But I totally liked Jason versus Freddy, though. I didn't really watch the beginnings and everything there, but when I saw that movie, I found it pretty awesome.
It's a standalone film, so whether you know any of the other ones before it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. Oh, you see?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, that was classic.
And there's Army of the Dead. I don't know if it recently came out
on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, on Netflix, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I found it pretty awesome. It's kind of like zombies.
There's Batista in that thing, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I did see that. Fucking Batista, man.
Yeah, it's kind of comedy at the same time. So, yeah, I liked it, yeah.
I actually preferred him more as a wrestler. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Any other ones?
I would say Exorcist, like the first one, when I saw it as a kid. Classic. Yeah.
I'd like to see one that's like
all hell.
We talked about the Ice Nine Kills stuff, and I'd like to see like their video director direct like an actual movie. That would be fucking awesome, I think.
Oh yeah,
that would be sick. The imagery is always on point, and really brings it to life. As far as the content of the lyrics. So, hell yeah, man! All right. Well, here's the time where we let you basically tell the fans out there watching and potential new ones that you've made here tonight, what do you want to leave them with?
Our single drops Tuesday midnight. Do it. We've got a lyric video. Yeah, Strangers, all about mental health. And so people who know us, last show we did a fundraiser for mental health, and so we want to give back. And so this whole album is kind of the same thing. And so Tuesday, go listen to that track, stream the shit out of it, go on our YouTube channel, cynicalsons.com. And we're also launching our show July 2nd. So Canada Day, post-Canada Day, hangover party, because it's a Saturday night. And what else do you got to do a Saturday night except keep on going? Anyway, so we were playing with our buddies, Rockin' Engine, Fractures and Outlines, and opening up is Sunday Riot Club. And it's going to be a hell of a party. Full capacity crowd. It'll be fun. It'll be sold out for sure. And so, yeah. So tickets go on sale on Tuesday as well. So check that out.
You heard it here, folks. Make sure you get ready for that single dropping on Tuesday. Support the underground, please. And as always, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight. It's been a fucking blast.
Thank you.
And I look forward to having you all back on the show soon. So
anytime, man.
Best of luck to you, brothers.
Yes,
all right. Most importantly, stay heavy.